of the Iranian regime, decapitating its leadership, destroying and obliterating the nuclear infrastructure of that rogue weapon state. This commander-in-chief is making the world and our country a safer place.
Do you believe this all ends soon?
I think it does, as the president said in his address to the nation the other night. But there are a final phase to be completed, and that is securing the Strait of Hormuz and making sure that Iran never has the ability to reconstitute its capabilities.
The president signed an executive order with restrictions on the use of mail-in ballots for the elections. It's under legal challenge at this point. Do you share his concerns about mail-in ballots?
Well, I do in some states. Now, we have a much better system here where we have controls and a limited number of days and excuse-based absentee balloting, and we have non-excuse early voting. We make it, as our Secretary of State says, easy to vote but hard to cheat. It needs to be that way everywhere. That's why I have fought for, I voted for, and sent to the Senate the Save America Act. It's a simple idea supported by 81% of Americans. U.S. citizenship documentation required to register to vote and voter ID nationwide to vote in a federal election. I call on every senator to vote for that common sense legislation to make sure we have integrity in our democracy.
And yet it looks like it's unlikely to pass, right?
Well, we're going to be passing another reconciliation bill to fully fund DHS, Border Patrol, and immigration enforcement, probably a defense supplemental. Deal with some of the fraud in government to save money and pay for some of these things. And then I predict recasting the Save America Act into a budgetary item so that it would be eligible for reconciliation, so recalcitrant Senate Democrats cannot block this common sense measure.
Well, it looks like there's going to be a major battle ahead on the budget. The administration Friday, as we were just about to tape this, released a fiscal 2027 budget asking Congress to increase spending on defense programs 43% and decrease funding for non-defense accounts by 10%.
Well, the threat environment is only growing. Obviously, we're taking care of Iran to a large degree, but we're going to have to backfill a lot of the munitions that are being used and pay for the war that is happening now. Obviously, there is major needs for deterrence in the Western Pacific, and we need to build up our defense industrial base for that multi-decade conflict and make sure we secure peace through strength. We want a strong military and a strong national defense, not because we want to go to war, but because we want to deter war. I believe in peace through strength, and that's why I'll be supporting those efforts. But we need to pay for it as well. We need to be fiscally responsible. And the GAO recently produced a report and found over $500 billion in annual improper payments across the government. We need to, as a member of the Doge Caucus, we need to continue to tighten our belts, reduce waste, fraud, and abuse, eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse to pay for our national security.
The Kentucky legislature supports a statue of Senator Mitch McConnell for the Kentucky Capitol Rotunda. He's the state's longest-serving senator ever, yet there are many critics in both parties of Senator McConnell. Are you supportive of that move?
I think that's altogether appropriate. But look, at the end of the day, that's going to be a decision in Frankfurt. And, we're losing influence in Washington, D.C. I think that's why this Senate primary is so very important, because I'm the only candidate in this Senate primary that can hit the ground running on day one. We need experience. We need someone who is actually doing the job, who knows how to deliver for Kentucky, who has delivered for Kentucky. And I'm the only candidate in this race who can do that, who has existing relationships with this administration, who has a positive relationship with this president and this cabinet, who knows the senators, who has worked with those senators, who has endorsements from over 116 of my colleagues in the House of Representatives, including Majority Leader Steve Scalise and Congressman Hal Rogers. I can hit the ground running on day one and continue to have a powerful and influential voice. There is no learning curve if I'm the next senator from Kentucky.
What has this experience been like running this race? You have run several House races in central Kentucky, but now you're out there where people don't know you, and there's a lot of money being spent to define you, and you're spending money to attack other candidates as well. Are you proud of the way the campaign is going?
Yeah, I think the fact that all of these false attacks have come at me, 5 million in false attacks saying that I support amnesty, which is totally absurd and not true. I mean, just consider this. The leading immigration enforcement organization in the country, Numbers USA, the leading border security organization in the country, has given me a perfect A+ rating. And President Trump's new Secretary of Homeland Security, the guy in charge of border security and immigration enforcement, recognized that I've tripled ICE funding. I have supported the president's immigration enforcement. That's why he has endorsed me over my opponents in this primary. So we've taken $5 million.
Do you share some concerns about ICE, though?
Well, I think Tom Homan, who leads the president's immigration enforcement efforts, he's suggested some reasonable reforms. But I will not be part of an effort led by radical left Democrats to defund border security and immigration enforcement right in the middle of a war.
Andy Barr, thanks for coming. Congress.